Just imagine a woman who fooled the whole world, walked away with $4 billion, and then just disappeared into thin air. No joke, this isn't a movie. This actually happened. Right now, if you check the FBI's 10 most wanted list, it's full of killers, cartel bosses, and bad guys. But right there, among all those dangerous men, there is only one woman. Her name is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. People call her the Cryptoqueen. Get this, the FBI is offering a huge $5 million reward just to find her. $5 million bucks. But here is the crazy part. Nobody really knows if she is dead or alive. Is she chilling with her billions on a private island with a brand new face? Or did she end up at the bottom of the ocean? Today, we are opening the book on the biggest scam in human history. Let's go back to 2014. Bitcoin was starting to make people rich, and everyone online was looking for the next big thing. Everybody wanted to get rich quick, overnight. Then, this super smart Bulgarian woman with an Oxford degree showed up out of nowhere. She called herself Dr. Ruja. She didn't look like a shady scammer at all. She wore crazy diamonds, bright red lipstick, and expensive gowns. She looked like a queen. She started throwing these massive events. She literally rented out Wembley Arena in London and packed it with thousands of people. She got on stage, looked at everyone, and said, "OneCoin is the Bitcoin killer. In 2 years, this coin will rule the world, and all of you will be rich." And people completely lost it. She was so charming and spoke so well that regular people, teachers, doctors, single moms, believed every word. They went to the bank, took out loans, emptied their savings, and handed all their hard-earned money straight to her. But behind all that drama and gold, there was a dirty secret, and it was about to ruin millions of lives. See, when you buy real crypto, there is a secure system called a blockchain that tracks the money. But guess what? OneCoin had absolutely nothing. No blockchain, no tech. It was a ghost. In reality, it was just a cheap basic database. Basically a glorified Excel sheet. Ruja's tech guys would sit in a dark room and literally just type fake numbers onto the website. If they wanted the coin price to go up, they just changed the number on the screen. It was all a fake magic trick. But while everyday people were staring at their screens celebrating their fake wealth, real billions of dollars were flying straight into Ruja's private bank accounts from over 175 countries. And man, she spent that money like water. She bought crazy mansions in London and Sofia. She filled her garage with luxury cars and threw insane parties on mega yachts with famous pop stars singing just for her. She was living her best life on other people's misery. But you can't run a lie this big forever. The cops were finally waking up. As the billions kept rolling in, international governments started realizing something was deeply wrong. London police, German prosecutors, and the FBI began tapping Ruja's phones. But Ruja wasn't just a simple scammer. She had a massive web of corrupt politicians, dirty cops, and expensive lawyers protecting her. Every time the police planned a raid, someone from the inside would tip her off. In 2016, German authorities secretly organized a massive raid on OneCoin offices. They wanted to shut everything down. But somehow, Ruja knew. Before the cops even broke down the doors, all the hard drives were wiped. The money was moved to offshore bank accounts, and Dr. Ruja just laughed. She felt completely untouchable, like a god. But she made one huge mistake. She trusted the wrong man. That man was Gilbert Armenta, her American boyfriend. He was a wealthy businessman who helped her move and wash hundreds of millions of dollars through fake companies and offshore banks. But Ruja was paranoid. She secretly hired private detectives to bug his apartment, and that's when she found out he was cheating on her. But it got worse. The FBI had already caught Gilbert, and to save his own skin, he was wearing a wire, recording every single conversation with Ruja. The feds now had everything they needed. The trap was set. But Gilbert Armenta wasn't the only one who broke under pressure. Ruja's main business partner and the co-founder of OneCoin, Sebastian Greenwood, was also caught in the global net. Sebastian was the master salesman, the guy who convinced millions of people across Europe and Asia to trust Ruja's vision. He was living like a billionaire in Thailand, surrounded by luxury, until the FBI and local authorities tracked him down in 2018. They extradited him to the United States, and inside a high-security prison, he realized that Ruja had abandoned him too. Just like her brother, Sebastian broke. He pleaded guilty and began cooperating with federal agents, exposing the secret corporate structures, the shell companies, and the shadow banks that Ruja used to wash the stolen cash. Even with her top team talking to the feds, Ruja's ghost financial network was massive. She spent hundreds of millions of dollars buying high-end real estate across the globe, but her favorite playground was London. She secretly purchased a massive $20 million luxury penthouse in the elite neighborhood of Kensington. The apartment was filled with priceless artwork, custom-made furniture, and a massive walk-in safe packed with millions of dollars in cash and physical gold bars. She used fake names and anonymous offshore companies registered in the English Channel to keep her name completely off the government books. When the police finally figured out the apartment belonged to her, they raided it, but they were years too late. The penthouse was empty, the artwork was gone, and the safe was cleared out. Ruja had already liquidated her British assets and transferred the wealth into untraceable assets. When Ruja vanished into thin air in Athens, she didn't just leave her investors behind, she left her own family to take the fall. She handed the keys to the OneCoin empire to her younger brother, Konstantin Ignatov. Konstantin was a former bouncer and fitness model, completely out of his depth. He loved the luxury lifestyle, traveling the world on private jets, throwing cash around and posting it all on Instagram. For over a year, Konstantin tried to keep the lie alive, telling angry investors that Ruja was on a secret mission and would return soon, but the FBI was just playing with him. In March 2019, Konstantin packed his bags and flew to Los Angeles for a OneCoin meeting. The moment he walked through the airport terminal, FBI agents surrounded him with drawn guns. He was slammed onto the ground and handcuffed. During his trial, Konstantin realized his sister was never coming back for him. She had used him as a human shield. Broken and facing 90 years in a maximum security prison, Konstantin broke. He signed a deal with the government, told the judges every single dirty secret about Ruja's operations, and confessed that his sister had stolen enough cash to buy multiple countries. Yet even with her brother talking, the trail to Ruja remained completely ice cold. So, let's look closer at that infamous day, October 25, 2017. Dr. Ruja walked into the airport in Sofia, Bulgaria. She didn't buy a private jet, and she didn't use a fake passport at the gate. Instead, she did something super clever. She bought a cheap ticket on a regular low-cost Ryanair flight straight to Athens, Greece. She got on the plane with just one small bag, filled with diamonds and private keys to crypto wallets holding hundreds of millions of dollars. The plane landed in Athens. She walked out into the busy terminal, met up with a couple of dark-suited men waiting in a black Mercedes, and just like that, she completely vanished from the face of the earth. No phone calls, no credit cards, no emails, no digital footprint at all, nothing. The Cryptoqueen pulled off the greatest disappearing act ever, leaving behind a $4 billion hole, a betrayed brother, and millions of broken lives. The most heartbreaking part of this story is what happened to the victims after Ruja disappeared. In countries like Uganda, Nigeria, and parts of rural Asia, thousands of poor families sold their land, their homes, and their cattle just to buy OneCoin packages. They truly believed Ruja was a savior who was going to lift them out of poverty. When the website finally shut down and the truth came out, entire communities were completely ruined. Some people lost their minds and others took their own lives because the shame and financial ruin were too much to handle. Protesters stood outside empty OneCoin offices in London, Sofia, and Dubai, crying and screaming for justice, holding pictures of Ruja with the word thief written across her face. But their screams meant nothing to the Cryptoqueen. She was already gone, relaxing under a new identity, completely untouchable. 9 long years have passed since that day, and everyone is still asking the exact same question. Where on earth is Ruja? This is where things get really dark. There are 2 main theories, and both are scary. The first one comes from leaked underground police documents in Bulgaria. Ruja was dealing with some very dangerous people, including a brutal drug lord named Taki. The documents say that in November 2018, the Mafia decided she was too much of a risk. They were scared she would get caught and talk to the FBI. So, the story goes, they killed her on a luxury yacht in the middle of the Ionian Sea, cut her body into pieces and threw her into the deep ocean. They even say the killer was one of her own bodyguards, hired by the cartel to clean up the mess. But the second theory says she is very much alive. Look, $4 billion can buy you anything. It can buy you a brand new life. Many investigators think she paid millions to top surgeons who completely changed her face, her nose, her jaw, and her hair. She could be sitting right next to you at a luxury restaurant, and you would never know. Some reports say she might be hiding out like a ghost on a massive private estate in South Africa, guarded by private military contractors. Others say she is floating in international waters on a mega yacht under a fake flag, where local police have no power to arrest her. In fact, not too long ago, her secret digital signatures were used in Dubai to try and unlock $50 million from a frozen account. And well, dead people don't sign documents in Dubai. We might never know how this story truly ends. Whether she is fish food at the bottom of the sea or drinking expensive champagne on a private island, Ruja Ignatova did the impossible. She beat the system, embarrassed the FBI, and became a ghost.